Okay guys, welcome back. Today a topic I wanted to talk about for a while, and it's how you can win battles and keep winning battles basically. I'm going to do this in two parts. So first I'm going to talk about quite obvious things, but it's very handy if you know all these things. So if you want, listen to this, right? So the first thing, which is of course a given, is you need to be good enough to win battles. Maybe you know every little trick and game in the book, but that doesn't make you good enough or a good enough dancer to win battles. It's not just like you have to be good enough or you will not win. That is a given, but I still want to say it. And about this, there's two things I want to say. First of all, people that are battling are often serious about it, especially those guys that win consistently, right? They're working hard. And if you're one of those guys that trains twice a week, at their break, and then surprised they don't win battles, yeah, of course not, right? Work hard at your work hard, train multiple times a week and work hard at it. Maybe even like you have to even maybe watch what you eat, right? Some like me, I also have this, that sometimes I get a little bit fat, and that's not a good thing in break, right? You want to be fit, you want to be strong. That's also a thing you should worry about when you want to consistently win battles. But that's a thing that I want to say, that a lot of people work really hard, and if you're half-assing it, of course you won't win battles. Maybe you're a talent, but you get the idea. Another thing is that it takes actually time to get good enough to consistently win battles. So what does that mean? Well, I've seen B-boys train 4 years and sort of really good and actually start winning bigger battles, right? Not just the local ones. But that's the sort of the limit I've seen from people. So let's say you're training hard and you're 2 years in, 3 years in, whatever, even 4 years in, doesn't matter. Just keep at it, right? You will learn over time, to get better and how it works basically. But don't rush, don't be so surprised if you're 1 year in and you won't win big battles or any battle yet, right? Take some time to get good enough to win battles. So then there's some other thing you need to know. First, quite obvious, but if you don't know the battle rules, you will not win battles even if you're good enough. So I can sum battle rules up kind of in two things, but there are way more rules, of course. So the judges always spot for crashing, and the judges always spot for repeating. So when you crash, they can just point at the other guy and you make their job very easy. So that means, yeah, you were very nice, but you crashed, right? So I'm going to pick the other guy. And the same goes with repeating. So, okay, yeah, you were nice, but you did that move before. Then I just point at the other guy, you make their job very easy for them, right? So you have to be wary of this and understand the rules. There are way more rules, right? And if you sort of ignore these rules, you can. But then the chance of you winning consistently goes way down. You have to understand the rules, and you learn this also with experience, of course. And another thing that you sort of need to consistently win battles, because I have friends like this, right? And they're actually doing all the right things. They lack one simple thing, and that is character, guys. If you want to consistently win, try to also develop the character that goes with being a b-boy. You don't have to forsake yourself, but just work a little bit at it, and one of the best guys to look at, which is awesome characters, for me at least, is b-boy Neguinho from Brazil. Man, this guy is so good at, he's obviously very good as a b-boy, but that character that he has, and sometimes it's as simply as looking a certain way, turning a certain way, and it gives so much style, right? And a lot of b-boy sort of very good. They do all the right things, but they simply don't have enough character, and that's also a thing you have to work about if you want to win battles consistently, because a lot of people actually looking for that, right? So very obvious things, still wanted to say it. So then there's another thing that sort of have to be wary of if you want to consistently win battles. So we all know there are specialists in b-boy, so breaking, right, top rock, footwork, power move, freezes are the main things that we do, and we always have these specialists that are very good at them and at one thing, right? And if you want to win with as a specialist, you actually can. I've seen specialists win battles all the time. The problem is consistently winning battles, right? You cannot win as a specialist consistently. The only way that works is if you're in a crew, or you have like maybe 2 and 2s and that kind of stuff, because you can have a teammate that sort of helps you out and then you just do your thing. But as a solo battle thing or whatever, you will not always win, right? And basically, what you have to do if you are a specialist, it's actually a really, really good thing. Because whatever you are a specialist in is usually at a very high level. Let's say you're very good at freeze combos, and you do this all the time. So you don't have to forsake your style at all. The thing is, what you have to do is, of course, everything has to be at a decent level, right? But you have to sort of bring your footwork, for instance, into your freeze combos. So it's all mixed in between. You don't have to really specialize in footwork now and just not do freeze combos anymore, only work on footwork. No. Bring that stuff together, right? Same with power, same with top rock, right? Find special transitions towards your freeze that are very fresh. And if you don't do this, you can still win battles. I've seen it happen many times, but you can't win consistently, right? All rounders reign supreme, but if you are a specialist, it's in a way a good thing. You just have to bring the other shit up to level, right? Just want to say this is all very obvious stuff. Still want to say it, right? Because we all seen those amazing power movers. There are, their power is really, really next level, and then, you look at their footwork and it's decent at best, right? That's not good enough to consistently win battles. And if you think you can win every battle with just good footwork, think again, right? That doesn't work. You will win some, but you will also not win all of them, right? Be all round, at least to a certain degree, and try to incorporate it into your style. So if you're very good at footwork, try to bring your power move and freezes and all that crap together with your footwork, so it's all one, and that high level that you have, bring that stuff together so everything gets high level by default, right? So this is all very, very obvious stuff, but I have to talk about it so I don't miss any details, but I will do this bit in two parts, so it doesn't matter. So then there's the thing you have to do, and that is battle all the time. So maybe you are good enough, but once you, let's say, like what I do actually is battle. Well, I battle all the time, but it's just in the practice room against other people. I battle, even when I go to cyphers, I battle people there, I don't care. But real battles with judges there, I usually do it in the winter. Because I like, oh man, I just battled 3 times in a year, that's way too low. And I want to battle again, and then I'm nervous again. So one of the main reasons is of course experience, but there's way more reasons that you should battle all the time. But you gotta, if you're very nervous when you battle, or you just gotta do it all the time. And that means at least 12 battles a year. 1 every month should be good. And it's even better if you can evolve in between those battles, right? And if you battle more, it's even better. That's just more reasons than just, experience and getting used to battling and yada yada. There's way more reasons. So the judges get to know you. The crowd gets to know you, right? The crowd that are in B-boy, the scene is usually, well, first of all, the B-boys, but also, the people around it, usually the same people, and the promoters get to know you. So this is very important. I will talk about this in part 2, but this is extremely important if you consistently want to win battles. And another thing is, if you get a following, you can also influence the judges simply by them going wild at your shit. So, Rocket Solution, very good crew, but back in the day, these guys weren't even that great. But then when one of their team members went on the floor, the whole crew went apeshit, and it was 16 people, right? So then, the judges get for everybody go wild, because they were just in a corner, but they made so much noise, and this influenced them, right? And if you think, is this fair, yada yada, I will talk about this in part 2. Hell no, of course not. They should just judge what happens in the battle, but it does influence them, right? So that's also a reason, but of course the experience is very, very important. So I will talk in part 2 more about this, but for now I want to still say there is a way to by default win a lot of battles. And what is it? Well, this only works if you're good enough. But if you can get into a very good crew, and a crew that often wins battles, you win by default. It's amazing. Wow, you made it just by being in that crew. Of course, even better is a super crew. So one of the best super crews, of course, Red Bull BC1 All-Stars. come on, man. Every member on that Gigotem team is awesome, right? But there's more crew. Like here in Holland, in my opinion, Hustle Kids probably the best crew here, right? But in Amsterdam, where I live, there's actually a guy from Hustle Kids, or used to be in Hustle Kids, I'm not sure. But he lives here now, right? And I was talking to him. And I was talking about a battle that the Hustle Kids did, right? And I said, I was talking about what happened at the battle, and of course they won, right? And I was saying, were you there? And he said, no, I wasn't there. And I gave him that credit simply because it was Hustle Kids. I was like, okay, he must be at that battle. I gave him that win. He wasn't even there, right? But you sort of win by default. Every victory on their name sort of goes on your name too, right? And if you battle with them, they can actually carry you through the whole battle, even if you don't jump in the floor once. But the rest of the battle, they do all the work. It doesn't matter. You win by default. So it's a very good way. But of course, they won't ask you to battle, even if you may be in that crew, they won't ask you to battle with them if you're not good enough, right? So, of course, you have to be at multiple battles. Like I said, battle as much as you can. Otherwise, it won't work. But, this is sort of a very good way. So, I'm going to cut this vid in two. So, this is the first part, and it's all very obvious stuff. Still I have to talk about this. I have to cover the basics. So I'll get back to you guys in part 2. See you next time.